92.9. We are live on Kessben Plus and live around the world. I don't pay my name when you Namina Chocho industry for as a papa. Now I don't pay Chocho at the romantic. But your product in the Gumwa would be not say, yeah, saying paying for the room. I'm a brown mochafa. And my warm dear, and I feel my man should be a woman. But you would see man okay with your bad. Dandruff a jilting me as singing on one more song. And they would sing me any morning in an Pasha wouldn't know more than very, very problematic. I don't know if I would see me. Chocho and the natural product made of herbs. And the bedroom mind to say, nay, MSC would sing me, you know. Na emwa wo pa said ya be trinwi na ni monyam no be sanso abadi bandrof ni nyina na be tu ase they said chocho akwakofa chocho hair food chocho shampoo chocho conditioner and a face base e dia ba ene e full combo na ye de ma wo kan nyina bom e de ma hairdresser e de sese wo cinema wa wo tri no enyi ye pa e wa hode e boa ma trinwi no e chishemshem pa and ope wo your bar na wo your handicap e ba the trinwi hu nsem trinwi no entimi mfua but wo nya chocho shampoo the conditioner the hair food and afi the base na what you you shouldn't get out of it me aboa wo trinwi no grow ye pa and what you know pacho and they extract from aloe vera it's me a moisturizer with skin with the and tosso kamba infections I would win free with the no now your chocho shower gel as they say yeah the other drama so and no any papa will be a use but I don't pay what time now will be Gary body back sama rashes be the idea go hunting and no be I don't pay my chocho shower gel and your seminar will be used. In fact, we have branding no. I will share packaging now. One casa who say yes. The Abrochaba Ghana, where you made in Ghana 100% natural. Chemicals be no enfremo. But your wife ran pay a co juma so now we be kwabano if you do now when them nyina joint pains a hold na my feet what to baha so how what pains pa chocho ba the young one with juma nyina no and your mom a very relieving of the pain. Wow, it bring be na mama so girl can it drew baby as when your mic go with Tifano ebe pie was nyina na chocho ba but your team ya na dia sasha mama so kama pa na yi pen nyina no de free and we chino waposo yo ya sasa bro na eche wa kan di ato dem but your what the chocho ba yes sasha to ase pa ko pe anima na what sorry I pay before I will be question looking active why because why get is that your days activities no acha your 12 midday na fe say a brand to me about when say that you active why you no phone this but your nyina and say one fa chocho tia no pay na your number 1 tea on the Ghanaian market I don't pay they come for their mapa num chocho tea na the morning nyina be more very active e wo adwuma wo yeso na echimi aboa wo ya yo mo adwuma it vitamin B6 proteins e wo mo vitamin C e wo mo ana fe vitamins ahodo bebre ana e wo mo eno temperature num bia e boa reduce the level of a year blood sugar na echimi aboa ma won so stress ni nyina no abafo ana pe chocho tea anwa adwuma e ye die your bar na ubu nsa na wunya problems e wo mo wote yaw e wachira chocho white tea and e yema e no ya sheda ye ne special dia mamo amoye e ma mo bom nsa na mote yaw e wachira no pe wunya chocho white tea na wono nom ya tu sa wo ha oni nyina no ase e de ma I shall pay my won sankabi heba shop sahodo supermarket sahodo mall sahodo ni nyina no eto chocho product I don't pay make it a point na ma wonsa enka wo de o eastern region e koye mantemwa I don't pay ubenya ni dodo mu atupa e wo so ho but for chocho phone 055 1815388 055 18 15388 and after 0244 727348. Let me show after 0504 555535. Now when it's your ending, come on, and pay. One aroma, and pay one more so you plus many more others coming up this morning on Maakye. Now, Edra, across the country, Edra no payani would do komo ebo wamanie about the latest development with a year Council of State Abattoir air course so Edra across all the 16 regions. Now we are told, sir, about 14 out of the 16 regions, you know, Anna Abattoir no a year very successful. Now in the Ashanti region came with a lot of altercation and misunderstanding, my handling of a year electoral materials a course so the regional coordinating council Kumasi, the Ashanti regional capital. Very unfortunate incident and but in the absence of that, the course so regions were very much successful. Now in the western region, they've shocked the whole world by voting for a 32-year-old man. Wono esanso eye minuapa na ene ne modemo as a youth ane de no ababedru baby a wadri mamenko ahomane so na mene Emmanuel Amuakon ata eni enkomo ono eye spokesperson edema Dr. Maxwell Boachi, Dodo na friend of Palasco in the Western region. And he has been elected successfully as a Council of State member to represent the region entirely. Ma many Emmanuel Amuakwata inni enkomo. Mzaya so to kind of pay a match in it saying.
Minia mejo so na watie phone na so anopa me cha watie phone na.
So now, first of all, my yena was a son of pay what you may aje so. And tell us, I mean, Andra, mission videos are ye shows to say, and they were Western region rose up to a lot of jubilation, or in the fact to say, I mean, assembly members are treasure mokoto aba Andra no. Your very own boss, Okasamano, Anna, Womotu aba, and the man said, nay. Onkosi a year region in ano anemu na onkotu omampanyin for. First of all, Dr. Maxwell Boachi eye hwan na ede na yebetimi eho ede afa ne ho.
Mameni kan enda Ghana for ase. Mamenda nananom assembly members. In fact, the NDC as a party regional party no mamenda executives no so ase na menfa akonya we so na Ghana for yisim paying for a police for ebeshema abawe e course no da. In fact ni media for and da omotwahia e share say abayi be successful Kenya assembly members are beto abayi. In fact yani aso ne da because utietie radio ne nyoma ekoso atomonte baby mu de anti anya successful so ye de ne timi successful no nti be fa konya da obi bi obe support ye come for Western region nyina no e be ka se ayenkunim die kase e ma ye nyina na ora Masro Palasco the day pa no na e friend Masro Boachi na oyobia. In fact, the age is shocking for you know 22nd September. The age now. Now, see, for 40 class or new 32 years, or do 32 years, or new 32 years. In fact, doctor is 32 years.
Okay.
Old. Now, or you'll be a business, yeah, they be an energy pa. Doctor Awari, Naire, Eddie, Mrs. Madeline Archery, Boache. That's no Madeline Boache. Or Banankasa din at the Madame Madeline Archery. Now, on then Dr. Elma. Now, okay, Doctor, you'll be in the for the past 10 years. Say, ban of good, Jimmy Dimoa, Ghana had here. The company, a friend of Mark Palasco group of companies, no. Your mother company, also company for all these years, near Mass Palasco Gold Limited. No, the Ghana High on Klabasa de Brea, or did Jima or Sanso and Namia Dom Cecilia Yawo into oil. Cecilia Yawo E Winstar Petroleum Energy Limited. Brand name no E Winstar. Since you know, I'm Phantom Pobi, so now filling station there. Now I say petroleum tanker bi say do any man say ko baby na doctor companies no back on no.
Okay.
So and the Maakye pharmacy. And then so ba Western region takwa yo gusa ye si ba ko. Na asanke guade and then potem edi Maakye pharmacy bo anko for pa. Doctor you be in fact for the past years in Wasam fit to be precise. Nkwala show BEC every year bia ya doye ema Ghana Education Service any ebedi sa nkomoni ye pa sa otwebe omo abohu doctor contribution a ode boa mebunu a wo celebrate titru bia e free sama boy ne pakem doctor yo bia afibia no osa e package a ode ma the disabilities omo asabe eni anoma nyoma bi nkoye doctor ewo adoye bia oyema mpanyfo afibia ye donations na maamefo ewo sama boy ni important na over the years no Stanley Hospital wa sankegwa for the past 70 years I at hospital enoma bebrea hospital no elake Dr. Eddie birthday last year. Yato incubator. For the past 70 years, in the hospital, they cry. Doctor to incubator. No be I think so. Here social media so obehu. Doctor air contribute air one mebunu titu when a juma moa a juma makaka ho asemi ne branches e organ ha ne wiasa fa na nyina no. Doctor you be a youth no eda na koma so. Enti emra ya kan Africa constitution no here who say council of state about no obia to me f form na all contest on say Ghana ni na omampani his excellency John Dramani Mahama ohe nekita wudi ne na tra abra obo na pro no o ma ye hu say mebru no yan sale ne fa ye hu sheb na Ghana edoko wa ejia ye so no yeso ye hu say akonya beda ho doctor yo bia o ma panya ni study ewo na ni so no aka ono so o sa vision ni bi nti akonya ne ba ye no na wo say ye fa form na ye tumi a contest
Enti metwe niema ya wabobo so nyina ne contributions Dr. Maso Boache put it up in the Western region. Then what it means simply, no, and it's is the right choice to be elected as a member of the Council of State. Obetimi akaba sumko ebetu omampenye no efo no ho, right?
Yes, mama siwe siye. In fact, you can say obi penya penya die obi kran fiesa. Na ultimate na ye na onim kasa ebu nimpa abo nimpa etimi bia adwuma kase a mekekan ya na kase nimpa no nsa da anya korasa o 32 na nko 40 o Ghana ha no enwanwa because history ye council state abakwasemu a we election ne kra ye call ye na I think the doctor na the only youngest person how do you say contest in him over age na mame enfama nana akwasi esia 74 years old Mr. Clement J 55 years Mr. Maso Boache 32 Nana Gonya Kofi Otoso Insia 74 years Mr. Ernest Salom 46 on a old medical practitioner. Only able to say Mr. Jacob upon Aqua, 63 years. On the old Reverend Minister. Ora Mohammed Al-Hassan, 69 years. Madam Nana Akosia Jamfiaba, also you know of 61 years, or your queen mother, old queen mother of the Shama traditional area.
Okay.
Nana Bitan Watten Fenidino 62 years. So we have got for a Kushia, na Kamaya say, Doctor, and a Shapa, but we are so no. Yes, so who found one pay phone did.
Exactly. Now, yeah. I mean, Western region, you know, assembly members, one more to our bandra, atu abadi ama Dr. Boachi, ye nankofo de nam from Memuna, or NPP ni no NDC ni ne bani saying assembly members kotu aba. Edimo bi or NPP ni say woman council of state member. San komo no krebe wum.
The attorney said, my name say, or your gun and me. Na, okay, and Remoa, a dear beer, and this, you know. Now, what to me, I contest. In fact, Doctor, the Doctor Nancy, me, who Doctor MPP, MPP card that said Doctor in membership card at Remy. Doctor Nini, NDC membership card and so on, that. Or you'll be a Oko grounds from far. Both political parties in I be dance here. The modern man they support it. If you say yeah, target will be say doctor, yeah, MPP maybe. Me and Kasam Doctor Nancy for so many years, you know. We won't know Taj Medi the Muda. Then mum na who farmer or name for a business icon. Now Obibia or a business icon be an any. It is a baby bus of ground on a baby do not support over summer boys here. Do baby that summer boy for here bridge. Oh, baby, out it. Only assembly members or only MC and not so no. I contribute a boam and see our summer. A year to mark.
Okay.
I was telling you. That and your mom, you know me and said, you know, a beaver fuck can be shot as soon as he did or yeah. Party new and a party new, but doctor there, 50 and the political color.
Okay.
To be now, if there be propaganda in every election, so no, or be able to kind be so that can't seem out to be so. I got to about no who say, I feel like and I'll be in the better.
Very well. And Mr. Alex, yeah, this, you know, the Obeka chat to I think say enkunimdi eba enre enkunimdi a motivate youth ni nyina na as I say motivate youth ni nyina to take up certain leadership roles, and then as the mantle falls on us, you know, ye betimi aye niema ebeboa na yenso ya prepare ye ho for the future. Ade na obeka de atwa to the Ghanaian youth 18 na ehwe wanope about this particular success and height Dr. Boachi Edru say.
In fact, the doctor did not know some to the media for or catch media. And say a brother say, Yenny youth know you're sorry waka. Now ye dear who share among say mukakra. Because on my now, mukasam see any ninjima. And you may be in Koyi, Nasi, I'm sorry, and two and among fire one shimwa. A baby no, Yania so, and I am battery. Doctor Maakye said. Oman Penny, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The team for the vision, I want an ima or the Bugana mano, a big town, and maybe any accident so. And you know, Opasi in IFS, Western region, a Brasson, because of the Western region, I do be a national cake, you know. Can I say, Omo Yajamu, or your Macron and so, for the past years. We know me, nobody dance to the very free, crying yet. You know what, the and Koye and Wambo my business into me and grow our Western region potent the and no gratitude to a doctor and address say I couldn't not obey on my penina or not just to say and also say Western region so Kakra deserve no in Sabeka. And to you to be a OTA and a Fabia and Dr. Pessoa catcher and say and Rasso say what say you tonight you whole year 7 years. I didn't need the other man paying for no. You don't complain for check or just for you don't want an animal chain no more do come up. You bet Ben paying for stakeholders are. I was here no more engagement to be an American share man penina. yes, the trimpo, you pay for the trimpo, they are poor man penny. The doctor there, or you'll be a why an address in Western region, or by unifying, or by clear boom. Now, say, Yasama, a higher no, Yakunya, or my penny sema, or no, Eddie Town. The better Ghana phone in our media for, in fact, and then down here online, I think, election, a crocodile, and Obia, Casafa, a 32-year-old gold business icon, and come off.
Very well.
The better was it, and a penny promotion on the action. You know, support, and for supported doctor. And I may have done now, you're training in now. Yeah, the trim, and so I.
Very well. Mr. X, I don't pay my men now. I'm grateful for your time. Yabeka, sir. Why?
That's all that was a part. Doctor, so
Bejeneso, you didn't come more. Thank you so much. And Emmanuel Amwakwata, a spokesperson, Dr. Maxwell Boache, a 32-year-old man, and the good people of the Western region, Atuaba, and the Amano, to become a member of the Council of State. Now, also age differentials and painful, no more contested, yeah. It should tell you the weight as a young man, no, Okita in the region. We'll come back to the elections of the Council of State. Na yedi ho enkomo. Na Reverend Atuna CD will subject it na Andra. Baby, I am successful no na in Ashanti region. Chaotic situation. Ana esi ewo ho. We'll come back to that as well. Na mebo a year. Maakye Ledunso Abaso in the Western North region, Chairman Bigedu na Reverend and 18/18 vote in the Bakokra and Fanchain. He's been elected as a member of the Council of State for the Western North region. And we'll come back to that to have that conversation. But Mamin Koye Jumawa lines also Emra, because President Mahama has tasked the finance minister to ensure the revenue gap due to a year the cessation of funding from US aid. And the directive also in the United States, idea be affecting in terms of Niema Bibra US aid funding a year. Let me speak to Professor Bokpen na meneno Eli Enkomo. Prof, if you can hear me, good morning and thanks so much for your time.
Yes, good morning, Speaker, and good morning to your cherished listeners.
Very well. I'm grateful you could join us this morning. So first off, President Mahama has asked the finance minister to take adequate measures in ensuring that at least the gap that we are yet to experience due to the shortage or the cut of US aid funding and funding support, we can really break the gap, because definitely it is going to have an impact on our economy. It looks as if the entire African continent is going to suffer as a result of this particular directive. As a country, what do we need to do to be able to, back ourselves up ahead of the journey?
Well, I think we have been asleep all this while, and thankfully Trump is waking us up to our basic duty to humanity, our own people. So, like a tortoise, sometimes you need to hit the back for it to get going. So, I think for me, I would thank Trump for taking this decision, because African countries for so many years after independence, can you imagine that basic health services, we have to outsource that to donors? Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense. Look, so I think that it serves us well. We should wake up to our responsibilities. We should wake up to doing the right thing, deal with corruption, pursue efficiency. We'll be able to take care of our basic necessities. I want to take your mind back to 2018. Hello?
Hello, I can hear you,
2018.
Prof. Yes, I'm with you.
When the government of Ghana in 2018 promulgated the Ghana Beyond Aid.
Yes.
What was the Ghana Beyond Aid? Government had recognized that aid was no longer reliably available. So even without Trump taking this decision, we knew that you cannot plan with aid consistently. So what was the Ghana Beyond Aid? One of the key things in the Ghana Beyond Aid was that Ghana will be able to finance its basic public services like health, provide water, provide education, to her own people without needing aid. This was the vision in Ghana Beyond Aid. And if you look at the analysis, you can see that the aid itself hasn't been there. Look at the amount we are talking about here. The president has directed, and I want to commend the president for that direction, leadership.
Okay.
So look at the amount we are talking about here. It's $150-something million, right?
Yes.
So can you imagine that a nation with our GDP in excess of $75 billion, another country decided to withhold $150-something million, and we are weeping? Wow, it's funny. It's funny. It means that we are not prioritizing. We are majoring on the minor. So for me, it's a wake-up call. Because, look, how much is 100-something million? Look, if you look at the total aid that Ghana has been receiving in the last couple of years, and you look at the waste in our economy, come on, do you know how much we spend on buying cars for MPs and government ministers? Look, let me tell you something. The days where you could just show up in another country and ask for handouts are over. And what Trump is doing openly is what these development partners have been doing on the quiet. If you check the data, you see that on the quiet, they've all been withdrawing gradually. I'm sure you are aware.
Yes.
They've all quietly, they've been withdrawing. They are scaling back. They are rolling back a lot of their on the quietly. So Trump is making it a headline. Something that they've been doing on the quiet. Something that we knew for so many years now. Okay, so that is where it is. You see, the point is that, it's very annoying that these countries pursue efficiency. They deal with corrupt officials, and their taxpayers' money is used to support us here. And what do here? We allow corruption to go on. We allow illegal mining to go on, destroy our water bodies, destroy everything. And then one day you show up and say, U.S., give us support. Come on. Who does that?
Yes, indeed, Prof, who does that? But the concerns again will be that, already as a country, we are under an IMF program. Within this whole week, the IMF team is in Ghana just to consolidate and see how best we can formulate fiscal policies to ensuring that the economy bounces back. Now, again, the revenue shortfalls we are going to experience as a country will come in because definitely government has equally promised to take out certain taxes. In the first budget of 2025. So, how do we consolidate? Speaker,
yes, Prof. I know where you are heading towards.
Exactly my point.
Yes, let me tell you something. This country, every successive government, look, when they were campaigning, you know some of the things they told us when they were campaigning? We have the money here. Do you want to doubt them? Let me give you a couple of examples. Do you know that our current president, when he was campaigning, actually told us in 2024 that cabinet retreat, each cabinet retreat, they were spending 5 million cedis. You heard that, right?
Yes.
Cabinet retreat, how many people make up cabinet? 21. Why, do they go and eat elephant each a day? So these 5 million Ghana cedis is far more than how much U.S. is withholding from the health sector. Is it not 150-something million? Multiply that by 16 Ghana cedis. It's just a little above 2 million Ghana cedis. Go and read the oral report and see. So you see, if we are able to block the leakages in this economy and keep illicit financial flows.
Yes.
Look, we will be in a position to give support to other countries. That is what is stated in the Ghana Beyond Aid document. And it is doable. Let me give you a couple of examples. You know, Africa as a whole is a net creditor to the world. Africa as a whole. So if you compare total inflows to Africa, including Ghana, here I'm talking about total aid that we receive. Loans that we take from outside, foreign direct investment, portfolio flows. it does not compare to how much Africa emits to the rest of the world through illicit financial flows, trade misinvoicing. The last time I was on your show, right?
Yeah.
I told you that between 2011, 2012, and 2022, Africa lost $115.3 billion through gold smuggling.
Exactly.
The data is available. Can you imagine $115 billion? That is more than the total aid and the loans and all that we get from the West. Africa, including Ghana, is a continent where water flows upwards. It doesn't flow downward to benefit the people of Africa. And all of these things happen with the collaboration of Africans and Ghanaians. Do you know something? If you care to know,
Hello, Prof. Yes. Hello.
European businesses, foreign businesses in Ghana, the kind of system we create for them to succeed at the expense of local businesses. Are you aware? So they make all the money from Africa here. And then when they go and reparcel some more and give it to us as aid, just to pacify conscience.
So,
Look, do you know something?
Yes,
this is an opportunity.
Yes.
Me, I see this as an opportunity. Africa must come together. Africa must re-examine its engagement with the rest of the world. Let's not do it as individual countries, operate from silos. Let's negotiate from position of strength. This is what Trump is doing. Every country is looking within. Nobody cares about the other person. Nobody cares. Not China. Do you know that China is scaling back even in terms of their infrastructure support to Africa?
Exactly.
Europe, are they not scaling back? All of them. All of them. Look, Trump is asking immigrants to leave. Do you know what Europeans have been doing on the quiet? The number of people they've been sending back. Do you know the number of Africans who have died on the high seas trying to go to Europe, trying to go to UK? They actually died. They killed them. They watched their boat to sink. They could have rescued them.
Prof, wrapping it up with you, I mean, this kind of support that we receive from US aid, is used in supplying essential medicines to people who have certain health conditions within our country. Those who have HIV virus and all of that. So, how do we complement and then take care of all these sick people, who ordinarily would have depended on this?
It's the responsibility of the nation. It's the responsibility of the nation. It's about prioritizing, right? It's about prioritizing. If the government wants to buy V8 for all ministers, they can do that.
Exactly.
If they want to buy VS for all MPs and subsidize their loan, they will do that. So you mean Ghanaians who are on life support, the country cannot find that money for them? This is a joke. Don't tell anybody this. Let's wake up to our look. And then again, let me say this: government, just as they promised in their manifesto, remove all those taxes. They should go. These are not losses. Do you know something? These are not losses. These are incentives you are giving to your own people so that you can stimulate growth, you can promote consumption, and the economy will end up being better off. Let me tell you something. When COVID came, do you know the amount of trillions of dollars that U.S. pump into the economy to support their businesses and households to sustain the economy? They did this. Let me tell you something. This is not strange. What is new about this? Do you know that in 2017, hello?
I'm with you, Prof.
In 2017, do you know that NPP government actually eliminated a lot more tax handles than this government has promised? Do you know that? 2017. Check the 2017 budget.
Yes, they classified it as nuisance taxes.
Yes, there are more than 15. Some of them, they reduced the rate. There was VAT on financial services. They removed it. There was VAT on domestic sale of airline ticket. They removed it. VAT, something on importation of sanitary pads. They removed all of them. But do you know the evidence on the ground?
No.
Even though the MPP removed all these taxes, our tax to GDP ratio actually increased.
I see.
So you don't get more revenue by burdening the people with more taxes. They should remove them. Let's free up the economy. Let people enjoy their lives a bit. We are not in a prison. There is nothing wrong if it goes well with the ordinary Ghanaian. There's nothing wrong. Look, Ghana is paying more taxes, like in the form of VAT, than American citizens are paying. Do you know that?
Yes.
If you buy something in the US, sales tax is 7%, 8%. If you buy something in Ghana here, VAT cumulatively is around 21.9%. How can citizens enjoy their life? You have received your salary, you have paid your taxes, you send something to your mother in the village, we are still paying Momo tax on it. This is robbery.
Very well.
The country does not exist for politicians alone, no, to drive V8 and the rest of them. The country belongs to the people of Ghana.
Very well.
Let's make it enjoyable, so that people will be encouraged to pay their taxes, and then let's also use those monies efficiently. It's as simple as that. US, a land of affluency. Do you know that they've set up a whole department to pursue government efficiency? They call it DOG. With Donald Trump is championing.
Exactly.
Even US is talking about cutting waste. How much more a country like Ghana? There's too much abuse. Do you know that our current president has more ministers than Donald Trump? Do you know that?
Even with the 60.
Do you know that? Yeah, even with the 60. Do you know that Ghana has more ministers than China?
Yes.
Check. Do you know that Ghana has more ministers than Singapore, than Malaysia, than Cote d'Ivoire, than Benin?
Well.
Why do you do all these things and then you expect somebody to come and take care of the sick?
Very well.
Take care of them. That's what makes you an adult. That's what makes you a responsible nation. That's how countries developed.
Very well. Prof, I'm grateful for your time. I think we will have to leave it here and then we'll speak again on the upcoming budget. I'm so grateful for your time this morning.
God bless you.
God bless you too. Professor Bokpin is with the University of Ghana Business School, an economist and then a financial analyst, speaking to us on the sidelines of US aid. The cut in funding support for countries across the world and even US itself, citizens, Efrasia, one more Satendra. Oko Uganda, there were a lot of happenings because basically the Ministry of Health in Uganda depends on that particular aid in ensuring antiretroviral drugs near the malaria drugs near the no ebi aba omicron so due to a yes supporter eba. But I mean this time round I feel it is long overdue. And Trump but we live to see. We are told by the 10th of March their first budget ebeba. President Mahama has said the finance minister must ensure the loopholes, the gaps as funding cutty at the beba he's able to cater for it. Yabeshe the budget ebeka. It is only 16 after 8. I Kessben. Pacho your numbers is 0550 567 929 0550 567 929 and no numbers no pay yade juma na mamin kodin komo way Emrati, my major phone so Atenase. I'll come back to them. Na yetimi I have a conversation in the studio. Na Mr. Benjamin Kofi Kwashi, a Council of Elders chairman of the NDC branch in South Africa. I'm glad that we're joining here in the studio. Govi, Maakye. Eradiadom, me now on so.
Nyamiadom, me pa.
South Africa to say.
Nyamiadom.
BBI fine. And I'll be a campaign on cry.
Oh, Makosa.
I see. But party motor saying, I'm buying motor saying generally.
I think the people of Ghana, Emma, NDC, any President Mahama opportunity said, Nyama Bibrian Koye under the previous administration.
Yes.
Governance, the anchor, it had to be a continuous process. But 8 years under MPP, Amaye who say, sometimes that is what is supposed to be, but Obiba now say on Yanisa, he won't do it. And so this is where we find ourselves. But President Mahama NDC, we've started doing what we have to do.
Okay.
Everything I promise say manifesto ye the bar government and say the call for we didn't send it just for political votes. President Mahama means sa manifesto no yebema na ba emuama Ghana for nyina. So far so good. 120 social contract no ye hwe nim say by that time no nyama bebre ka say be before then no. The good people of Ghana will see them.
Yeah, good people of Ghana will see them. But in achieving the first 120 days contract, and President Nankasa Kran so formed a task force to ensure that those promises, within 120 days, a bit to me are achievable. Yeah. Already, 30 days, echo dada, and your count here, you barely have about 80 to 90 days to fulfill. About 26 major promises in your manifesto. Let me listen to you on the task force and the achievements so far. Specifics are Abano. Say if the party is on track, the government is on track.
Well, I think President Mahama 1 month on the good people of Ghana gave him and the NDC the opportunity. Now he stated he was going to work, among other things, the peace in Boko. We saw once more he went there himself.
Yes.
He has instituted committee that is responsible to advise on this constitutional review thing that we've all been saying that we need. He has formed an economic panel as well to advise on the policies you feel say as NDC we have to do it to alleviate the plight of our people. Nyama Bibria President Mahama Kano, we can see say he's not just resting, he's just not seeing them as political talks. And tax force here or commission here, the tax force, what is their responsibility? Mate say the tax force are one too many. No. So if you have a social contract with the people, for example, sanitary pad project here is it doesn't fall only under one ministry.
Okay.
So you have education ministry being there, gender being there, you have finance being there. So OSHA committees now are former. All the key sector members, ministers, are part of those committees. And we have other technocrats also being part of the committees. The basic thing is this: advise us as to what we have to do, and within the timelines that President Mahama Ghana for, he wants to make sure.
But that is where the problem is, and that is where a lot of Ghanaians are raising concerns because it looks as if mobile under 30 days, more committees are far too many. Now, presumably, one would have thought, manifesto there ought to have been a blueprint as to how our implementation now if you come into office now will set up committee must tell you what to do then automatically it's more or less like there was nothing in the first place.
Nana, fortunately I can say I was part of the transition team for President Mahama.
Okay.
Now everything we thought, like they put it out, say Nanado Bekas Waye Baumia Bekas. So we had a mindset made up, say we were coming to inherit ABCD. Now when we got there, it was not like that. For example, I've always used this point about the gold for oil deal.
Okay.
How many times did members of parliament ask that come with the documents and whatever it is? You said it's a brilliant initiative. We never had it. It was during the transition period that we saw the rot that is there. I'm sure say
with the gold for oil.
Yes. In the days to come, Ghanaians will see the rot that was there. They kept the lights on. Perfect. But they were keeping the lights on, and the amount of debt we had no idea until we took over. So you're planning, say we are coming into government, we'll do ABCD, which is understandable because at the end of the day, we are Ghanaians. We are seeing how things are just like any other ordinary Ghanaian. Ghana and to say US and other countries where opposition leaders are briefed every time as to the briefing, they also give the sitting economic wise. Nana, the committees that are being formed are not committees that are even being paid anything. Nana, if Ghana force a committee,
but at least the operational aspect of the committee, government will take care of it.
When you mean operational, what is operational?
Normal committee in Juma definitely so mobile failed. For instance, the committee you have put in place to ensure national economic dialogue and because they will travel to engage certain stakeholders. Printing, say. So it comes up to the cost. Now there's also a committee they are supposed to look at how do you call it, the Organization of National Educational Forum, where we can have a total restructuring of the education sector. So I mean, what I mean to say is that committees need must set up a task force, must say now putting up a bill, I mean, for the establishment of the Ghana Gold Board and all of that.
Yeah.
So many more like that. Even if the members there are not going to take salaries for what they are doing, yet there is still some level of cost attached to the activities of these committees.
Cost attached to ensure that there's productivity. Cost attached not to make members of the committee rich. Few months or years ago, we saw how people were getting money out of these committees. Nana, when President Mahama formed the transition committee, I remember I was on the infrastructure development one. We had Honorable Haruna Idrisu as our chairman. And he was particular from day one. He told the government side, the then government side, that nobody's charging the state for whatever that committee does.
Okay.
Everything was on him. He didn't say it in our absence. All the members of the committee were there. So everybody came into the committee believing, say, normal thing, buy $100, buy $200, but no, it didn't happen. Now, look at that aspect of President any Ghana for any social contract. There's a social contract. He wants to implement what he thinks is the best thing. And President Mahama, you know President Mahama very well. When he did the Senchi Economic Dialogue, it was for one reason, say, Obe everybody on board. It was during that century consensus, no, and laudable ideas from your friends saying Kwame Appiah Kubi, the former, the economist now. He works with the MPP. What's his name again?
Kojom Pianim.
You know, they gave brilliant ideas. So building an economy, and you're one person there. He says, let's bring all of us together. I can assure you, say, when these committees now present their reports, the good people of Ghana will understand, say, they were necessary in ensuring, say, your social contractor, Ghana for everything goes well.
So, in effect, committees are there to work efficiently and effectively for the achievement of the Mwakanyina.
Absolutely.
Putting it in summary. But again, my Yemra appointment is 25 minutes after 8. Enche, we know they didn't come away, no my bigger phone, so up them. Now, let's come back to the appointment. As a party, there's a lot of high expectations from among your party members and then even Ghanaians entirely. Some people who, vis-a-vis were investors. Who are investing, in the party, struggling in opposition, coming back to power. It looks as if it's an appointment as a more in the BBA.
I think the President Mahama is the appointing authority.
Exactly.
He has all the powers vested in him by the Constitution. Nana, I think the appointments are so far, nobody in the NEC can complain about it.
A lot of people, a lot of your party members are complaining.
It is understandable
they are telling you, there are certain key people, almost certain key positions. One more party for no presume, one more NPP for they ought not to occupy those positions. You heard the concerns by with NCA appointment, right? Recently, you've heard the SC with SIC, right? And then again, as we speak, Forestry Commission, the COSO, Minerals Commission. A lot of concerns are coming up. So the same people who were there during the Akufo-Addo's time are still there. Why?
I can assure you, sir.
In the last 30 days. So.
Yes. The concerns of our party people have been taken on board. Nana, it is wrong. When MPP took over, the things that they did, our people were also expecting, say, Yensu Yeba will do the same thing. Now,
and you're almost doing the same thing. You fired the MMDCs.
Yes.
You fired.
Oh no, the MMDCs. You expected them to be
fired
there.
just yesterday.
Yes.
Krofo Ayema or more appointment letter as far back as November. So
Nana,
if you have disappointed those people, what about the CEOs now?
We are still on the process. We will fire those that needs to be fired. And the truth of the matter is, it is not a personal vendetta. Mr. Let's not joke. You put a district chief executive there, somebody that believes in the philosophy of the MPP, and you want him to work for the NDC. How? You need your team to be able to operationalize and execute whatever you told the Ghanaian people into your moment of power. Say, come on board. Look, Mate, say other people are complaining about the appointment, expecting that ABC person should be there.
Exactly.
But President Mahama has stated categorically, said this is his legacy year. President Mahama is not appointing friends and family. President Mahama is appointing people he believes say they can work together to make this better Ghana agenda a reality for Ghanaians. So I am a party person. I might feel say there's this position that this person should be there. But the president, in aligning with his vision and the way he wants to govern this country, might choose a different person. I don't think so we can hold it against the president.
No, but the consensus will be,
Yes.
allowing the appointees of the former government to remain in office. Don't you have equally competent hands within your own party and government? When we bet me and match up the competence of whatever activity and department now.
So before you are able to sack people and block, you should be able to get somebody or pick it up from there. Most of these people, to say Enra Snit, I heard a lot of agitation from day one from our people. And I am Pamo Safuma. It is right, they have to go. But at the end of the day, the president believes they should be there until Obibe pick it up from them, knowing exactly where Senate has gone through, where it is now. So that why? Oh, never. I don't think that mistake is something that we need to talk about. And we won't keep him there. We won't keep him there. Especially people that we know say I die in wool MPP people. Look, governance is a serious business. And yet personal vendetta. And then said young people are complaining. Look at the latter part of Chief of Staff letter and no issue here. And he says that they should finish his office after a comprehensive report.
Yes.
Then he will determine the way forward.
Okay.
So you have been appointed rightly and you are not a party foot soldier. And you've earned your merit to be there. Why not? We'll go back to it. But if we see that these appointments were done in bad faith, governance and bad faith, they don't go hand in hand. So you can't blame the Chief of Staff when you didn't blame Osafo Manfo then when you made this comment.
But you have stated here,
yes.
And yet the NPP, in time past, and a more copy.
But they say,
so making reference to Osafo Manfo will not come in.
You are telling me that within 30 days, we still have Osafo Manfo.
I am not the one telling you.
No, you just said
your own party people
just said
are the ones complaining.
Yes. So I'm telling you that they did it within 5-6 days. We have waited for 30 days to do it. It is because we wanted to have continuity. But the individual that is there, Osafo Manfo's son, cannot wish President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC well. Impossible.
Why is he not a Ghanaian?
No, so we have different ideologies.
Okay.
Ours is a social part. Theirs is property owning. So it's two different things. You don't mix the two. You've seen the appointed President Mahama making so far. These are people that have died in wool NDC people. People he believes that they share in the vision of the NDC and President Mahama. And also competency.
Is Professor Jambo an NDC?
I wouldn't speak for Professor Jambo.
But he has stated himself so on NDC.
Of course, you're appointed, maybe ideology wise, he aligns to us in a way or not. But I think, Nana, it's early days yet. Our party people, there are a lot of appointments that the president has to make. It's just after ordinary ministers are called. Why deputies? I'm told that there are other 4 deputies that will be added.
Yeah.
Once it's done, cabinet is in full force, and I'm sure the result are Ghana for EP from John Mahama and the NDC. We'll start seeing them.
Very well. And you better having more engagement on this. But the better one cast our appointment, because it's very important.
My appointment.
Yes,
I'm already working.
Yeah, I know you're already working.
Yeah, I'm already working.
But I mean, our party, our party leader in South Africa, Ghanaians living in diaspora, were more sympathizing with the NDC. Came through you. I mean, one with a lot of support. Yeah. And the anye ye bia krano nipa ba kwana be no bia ono so contribute to from South Africa. Ama NDC aba power no or to benefit from this government because the benefit was so ono so nya akwanya no ebesom. Okay. So I'm asking said that ben na appointment there beba na ye nyina na ye mfa ya no bi ento.
I think say enye nyina na ebe to me my appointment. Enye nyina and that the appointing authority no.
Go be it's what I want why net South Africa or the neighbor for appointment.
And I make
Let me put it that way.
The president would always want to work with team players, with competent people.
Okay.
So if we are competent, if we are good, and the president believes say ubetumi yejuma ha amano say Ghana the better Ghana agenda be yejuma, he would appoint us. But we are working.
And definitely you are awaiting something, right? Your very self or any of your members what's South Africa.
You know what I'm expecting?
What are you expecting?
That we deliver on our promises to the good people of Ghana. So that's my concern. Say we should be able to
just be the politician of this particular matter.
No, I'm being very realistic. We should all work towards that better Ghana agenda, and then the most important, and helping President Mahama achieve whatever he has promised the Ghanaian people. So I think say Nana. It is not everybody that the president can appoint, but everybody that has Ghanaians and the NDC at heart should ensure say we succeed as a government. And for me and many others that have not been appointed, that doesn't mean say we are bitter. We cannot be bitter. We are happy, and we are able in our own small ways, help the party, help President Mahama in achieving whatever we promise the good people of Ghana.
Govi, I'm grateful for your time, and then they'll pass you through. But memoir shadaba now you have about an hour or more long conversation about how Ghana economically you bet me a partner through this government and see the way forward between Ghana and South Africa. Because you say blocks to be nice, right?
But me about appointments.
Oh, I didn't.
Let's work for the good people of Ghana. And don't put me on the spot.
Govi, I'm not putting you on the spot, though.
Don't put me on the spot.
Dabi womunyenyi.
May apply mawana.
And advocate Makofi oho.
Oh, na say baby o we die. Any adwuma wa ye die.
Oh yes.
Nobody can do it better than.
We will advocate for you. In fact, why you adwuma? We have known you from a very far distance, and you are a very competent person. Odi wona umpa ye de ese ye pe bibia ma. O kontina ho ayenso ba be didi ho.
Na enese bi ade ne ye ka ne sei no. Na o man panyini bu afu. Dabi we have to tell people.
Ebi ana o man panya adwen afiri so. So
ma me ka some job. Na do dan kwa gu for buy. Omo you cabinet meeting us where is Grace Omabo? Tell you. Yes, where is Grace Omabo? Then the people around the president told me that the woman has traveled. He says he's not interested in her appointment. I'm telling you. Yes, no Mobwa.
Really?
Yeah, you wanted to take her to a creative. I mean, I'm a catcher. Grace Omabo. Wow. So sometimes Nipado does so my penny not many hate young kaka no. A bet me a nibe bafas. Overhead now is 7 previous. Obi any think can and 9 can be a young new divide. Quadruba we a Yamian in Ukraine. A Juma we a pass South Africa for Domba Udia Konya Ba. How many party your friends NDC for the to told the party and anthem. From the first stanza to the last stanza. You shocked us, and it was all over the place. The other time, Nippers as this sadness said them, Kwame, if you cannot do it, you are not an NDC member. I'm telling you. You are not an NDC member. You have work. So
Mamina Benjamin Kofi Kwashi Ase, or known the Council of the Elders Chairman of the NDC in South Africa. Kofi, I'm grateful. Minim say you best say Nyankita Hodie BM. Thank you so much.
Kaka miampo kwa mwasi anansio Picho kaka mio minro kaka mio Kaka miampo kwa mwasi anansio
Abamina was in fast than be a year House of More na and pay House of More at Daroma Pacho. One more a year a research based institution. And then 1 year research and developing a year drugs are who do be brenano at the Abedramai. So the Mampong Institute of Plant Medicine, research into plant medicine, and the Womo Adansia Food and Drugs Authority. So, Afio Mujumedia, Womu so Abomo Abasu Yepa, na Enea Yeka say, House of More, and the product Ahodo Pinano, and at the Abedramai. So, the kind live life syrup comes in so many ways, and they you what the boost immune system, you what the eboa a year of blood circulation, you what the enhance a year of sexual performance in both female and male, a repair a year erectile dysfunction, a work body system, and pay House of More in Roni a papa. The Plant Medicine Research Institute that was Mampong, Ajuomwa Tumuye pa, and Anopay, Sir Utimia, as I said, Woma Wonsa, a canina no ebi, na ebebua wuye pa. But your product the medical culture will pursue balancing hormones, what low libido and a poor one, and bano a year lubrication, but your body and natural, and I was so far problems with Brenano, open capillaries, and more a year of blood flow. Sinchi and open bra, na benya yendroibi, na ebebua wuye pa. House of More Adaroma, and one modesta product in at the Abadramai, so and opay my yeno moise. Ye more abaso so but your ope bia try we call a year pharmacies ahodo ni nyina and afi herbal shops ahodo ni nyina one bejo so na wo matimi aton bi e de amount Pacho mabedwa fo no atena se enche mene wo mo e ba bedin komo na me na Bayport savings and loans for as Bayport Adaroma mo the fixed deposit investment no e dia ba and pay Bayport bukita 5,000 Ghana cedis and above and nei pacho wo mo e beje na watimi aye investment with them e beboa we ye pa enche anopay Bora Bayport branch be across the country o won kra ha be kokokomlemle ATTC school no enche and after one more on 0245 153283 and after 0263 007 922. Now, when the Bayport Savings and Loans, they in Komo and pay. Mohammed Atunase, member of the New Patriotic Party, he seated this morning at a full house. Dr. Ramsey Atunase and Afe Wafa. Titi Katinon so Atenase bebe mo munyina no achem but your share so mami your numbers ni 0550 567 929 ye kwa kosi se nondo ebebo ansana ya pejaye mo mami ma awala chi na mema no akwaba awaba chi
yenua
na empom te saying
oh nyame adom bibia ekoso just that me ra hokakra that's all but I think say bibia ekoso kama
ora hokakra
yes esan say dear President Mahama ewo manyi no I think say obia ono be kan say obema 24-hour economy na jobs nipa makoma kumiensa be adwuma baako na wabeto say afankrofo adwuma na kan say wayi wo madia I think say yawre husem I was say inyina ye ka ho say
but what kind chief of staff letter no
enokra na me kan ya me hu say I think say enokra ye more of a bad faith.
I think there is going to be an audit.
So why do you terminate appointment when you know there's an audit? How do you do this?
If you are well deserving of appointment when you'll be called back.
How?
But how do you also give people appointment without they going through an interview session?
So who told you say obi appointment I won't go through an interview session?
That is what they are saying.
So that is the reason. That's the reason he is supposed to.
I mean, upon there are some of them are more appointment. One, go through interview and you'll be yadina kwa kwashe baby so onkoye adwuma on the knowledge of the place enti I mean the efficiency kra no ewo form eno ye one two now also mo go through some of the letters near there I mean more backdate appointment you know enti ebi dia by November multimedia call as far back as January meanwhile no nipa no in November or midway November and or assume me office enti as a no kwalidie bi anko so that reason necessary hwehwemu
so I know say you don't hear hwehwemu bia biom because unim hwehwemu bia terminate it then don't talk about any your friends saying report biom you don't need any report because unim dada
I don't okay topic here who no what shall I
oh okay name mami too mami too
mami nchi
mami topic in my hueno and until I'm
that's all you're aware and what topic you
Richard one fan count and now was said that
and then number one on the topics into here of the home. Dr. Ramsey, good morning. I'm going to say
Maakye speaker.
Yes, Major.
Wahwefoni atefoni na Maakye.
especially the IGP of Police, Dr. Akufu Dampare. I think there's a time Ghana bambono apeje and then if you look at the rankings you've seen it that Ghana is ranked the second safest country in Africa. And credit to him and his police management board. I wish the executive would not use any diabolic means or any Machiavellian tactics to touch him. I hope, because why are there? Nipa ya there say bonabaso. And that is what we are lacking as a country. And then onipa ya there na year. Now I should be maybe nipa ni fiba is political affiliation. So your way of Ihanuma then we say NDC ni na or MPP ni bonabaso. We have to stop that mediocrity. Which I say na onipa sebi no what me my bambo here speaker make catch and then anajo unama utmu se barrier kwanu bebre barrier wo aname bwana. And then there's even a police force or more there's a branch called the visibility. Motorbike movie nini na intino say bomb abaso. I think that the police has been reformed and is more disciplined than even our military.
I see.
Yes, more disciplined than the military. The Ghana Armed Forces today is one of, I would say, the lowest ranked security institutions in Ghana.
No, how?
I am telling you. I am
on which basis, Doc? I mean,
no. Speaker. I speak with facts and not emotions.
No, so the facts.
So the facts that I make catch on the say, say police, right? Ako tutu. Akunkrofo 8, Akunkrofo 9, Akukukunkrofo rough. Look at what happened in Ashama. Are we living in a banana republic? One will say police.
So because there be a report to be now. Okay. First one who can report. Your commendation say ampa. Ghana police actually say Ghana.
Can you keep quiet?
Police.
If I'm talking, you cannot. Can you keep quiet?
I want that.
Can you keep quiet? When you were speaking, I was quiet.
Speak with facts.
I want thank you.
Baby.
Yes, Doc. Just wrap up on that. Yes.
That kind of communication, I have to advise him. You claim you're a passionate Zongo politician.
Yes.
But you have to. You see, you have to. What's a Zongo? No. What's a son? Who says Zongo for Eddie?
No.
You have to act in the decorous manner and
respect
your Debbie. Even though you said things that I had objections to, I didn't interject. So please respect every member here. And that is the problem with Nana's People's Party. And that is the thing. Nana's People's Party. This is not an MPP person. MPP need. So what I'm saying is, me way back.
You don't even have a party.
Your friend is say soldier for no. And Nema omo ye wo krom hanum. On say we've tolerated them for so long. Me nana no a soldier ni.
I think soldier for they invite you more into civilian.
Exactly, because
into who catch me say asema esi wa shama no. Ye na invite you omo say omo call lining up over 200 people. No omo strip you omo no omo go. Because omo cool soldier ni baako.
No, but
police for say police.
That is somebody's son. I mean,
somebody's son. But what is a sensible way of dealing with this issue based on the rule of law? What is it? The police is there to deal with civil issues. So they should have used the police to conduct that operations.
Very well.
Speaker, I am saying and I'm saying again, the military has to be reformed, and I'm urging President Mahama. On funny and two form, no reforming a military because it is going low.
Okay, but I say, I'm going to imagine,
Speaker.
I'm going to Omoye we are not do voice not to form moko. I am a penny sir.
Oh, that be and yes, sir, but yeah, but say I drink Ghana phone omutie.
Exactly.
And ye dede and I nye kasa be brave. Say obiti fi no here. Because what day na gentleman anapatutu to aya kasa sa nti
eya kasa na enye boko enye ntokwa do so na obekasa no account here
exactly
na yakoye nim because we interject you bia and my voice near den
exactly
our so our problem is say correct our say one correct the partner
obi te kan mu na okwa you understand
our say obi aso radio
Yes.
okwa ho obi di trotro no tie into one correct na trotro no to until the because so can you imagine that's our position. It's interesting.
It be factual, that's all.
Yeah, go ahead.
Maakye.
First one, facts,
okay,
which is clear. So Ghana is the safest place.
So
but then your police in Ghana, Ghana safe because soldier for the territorial, you know, almost so and I take it. As I say, Ocean West Africa ha, Togo, Burkina, anywhere be an ubu say at least the encashes but Ghana have be intimacy because soldier for no ewo your borders are
how is that relevant? How is that
very relevant?
It's not relevant. Internal policing is done by the police service.
Wouldn't say son of
border crime immigration
introduction almost starts. Let me read time.
Aye.
Grover me do introduction. I call 9 minutes. So the two of them.
Go remember Maakye.
Yes, Kwame.
Yes,
before Beba, where is Kwame?
Yes.
David in the Bible, Kwame. He was first anointed before his brothers at the age of 16. And the second one in front of Judah. And the last anointing before the whole Israel. That time is about 30-something years. And they radically Israel sharing. You see, Abrante at the Western region. I'm shocked.
Okay.
Emmanuel Amwakon, doctor.
Yeah.
Council of State member, yes. Palasco. Kwame. Yamon Payen from Abrante. He's a very good person. And ninim dieso. Na adequate amese obetimi ayese adwuma ne se Kwame. Why aid to a council of state member. We have seen people on my aid to some people or would take advantage to learn the job. Be sure say and no and the informant say adwuma betimi aye. President Kofoso no aid to Dr. Buzia.
Yeah.
Former President Liman was an armor bearer to President Kofo. You get me? And all that. So, Yamon Payaman Palasco, the guy is a very brilliant person. And I'm happy, say, at this age, it will inspire more you to think straight. Yes, Kwame. It is wrong. We are Korana say 7 previous one could school do baby. Now Kwame would be dream big, you know. Say as a 7 to president for. Now what Jay say 7 previous would they uti ever to or bad ties one. You have a problem because Samson Edini Tito or bad ties so at age of 30s Kwame. Delilah betrayed him, but Jacob didn't see at Toboba so die. He had a dream. That guy had a dream.
Exactly.
You can have a dream, Kwame. There's a difference between foresight and insight. You can have the foresight but not insight.
And I boys in the job,
I don't know what I say. So that is that.
But he says, Tanko is 36.
Sorry?
The one from voter registration.
Tanko is 36 years. Yes, Tanko is 36 years. Tanko, make me refer my job to other person. And the people are saying, say, why NPP need that thing?
Yeah, almost a Palasco NPP then what?
So what?
Council of State.
Kwame, when you NPP, but the point.
Why they select assembly members?
Why they select assembly members?
Two members from all the assemblies in the region. Why they select?
Why they select them?
No, they sit down amongst themselves. Presiding member and one other person. Son of you know.
You and I know.
From every district. It's
exactly. You and I know.
So I had people in. Listen, Appiah Kubi, when you read I said we Ketches tribute. The late Appiah Menka. We are the tributor NDC for read by your friend is a General Mosquito. And General Mosquito no kwani tributor or throw book no have it. Kwame. As someone kind of Appiah Menka hono. Or say he got closer to Appiah Menka when the man became a Council of State member, dining with President Mills. But he's a co-founder of a New Patriotic Party. Mewa.
Yeah.
He was a co-founder. E.T. Mensa, according to Nana Akufo-Addo, upon everything, so many Council of State, was it is my friend who come to my office. They will spend more time, about 2 hours, thinking about ourselves. The best advice that you can get for a best friend from E.T. Mensa. So what is the problem?
All right, then I remember no, so I know you're substantive. You remember no, so never can wasem. But my main shas your Uncle Titi. So, President Mahama and Dra put in place a task force. We will make sure say economy, especially the finance minister, we will be to me a receive na funds, and it is expected say by March 10th, first budget of President Mahama administration, no, a bit to me about. But the major concern as a president, a funding support. A free US aid or EBA and a Trump say wakati. In fact, US aid na kasakra waguno entirely. Enti sikabi a free agency the whole baby no any hobium. I'm a short for saba. I got it, Mamintio, 10 minutes.
Mr. Siga with that and I pay committee and for me, Ube who say a cabinet ministers in Kwana and Kewo. Omo from your cabinet ministers back community. Almost all of them are cabinet ministers. Into which I say, what was the motive?
Yeah,
it's more or less like say bringing people together. More original motive back, which is the 120-day rollover now. President Mahama promising, and just conscientizing them. Say you are at your ministry. The FAO ministry hono making sure say will be execute and sign 120 days no I the action. So there's no BB fitri bia about that committee now here for me and no. It is just to have them have a leader say we need a coordinative. I think it's Madam Valerie Sawyer and all coordinators and no to make sure say obia the FAO ministry hono. You would execute it and do it early. Most of the time, the zone say goals to the Tancroft him now are referee Kakraba because of ministry issues now.
Yes.
Ebia the all party book no Ebia Obefil say and no entering Kakra because they will surely do it. But to will be your coordinator, you'll be on your toes to make sure say they are promising Ghanaians no. Once you are at the ministry no and no beba ni aye no awie. Coming to US aid ni the Ekeka. Mr. Speaker, in the past regimes across the world, who notice here, Europe, I started looking inward to see how best they can get something from outside, not from the one.
Okay.
What yes, you'll be a dream this time. The other day, na me kind of news so about your neighbor we your bag Ghana no see uniform here. Not
Traore.
The achievements as a military government is be able to have an assembling plant of an electric vehicle.
Yes.
What you say? It's a big step in the right direction. It says you'll be a dream. America, the big America, America being true. They use the name Big America because Wama was kakakra. Then you want to manipulate you and control you. Enti nisika no di amount no, it gives him leverage. Mr. Speaker, sa USA is almost 170 50 something million. Do you know say sa scanner ba no? Abrofo na di etire nyina no mba be ejubon ha no. Eno mu na ebete ogavi.
Yeah.
Abrofo ni no mba betena ha tena mu V8 mu atofu odi nyina sa scan no.
Oh, sir.
Oh, yes. That is how the fund works. If those fund comes, it takes care of the staff that follow to implement it. All of them are inside that money.
Expenses on being it's a hen become.
So what's next here? Ghanaians here, Ghana, although it's substantial, no, the you say you had here omo staff US aid office or American embassy, you know, they draw from that because the money doesn't come into Bank of Ghana account. And sana then abayeho. And don't forget, rival drugs name malaria and cholera na there no more drugs in that. There will be the people to order it for you. They'll deliver the drugs to you. What's about say? They'll make sure say you go according to their terms. Inti said ne na mo se bo my malaria draw, mo my retrograde drugs, mo my nubio mo withdraw. Don't forget, you've emptied an office of over maybe 50 or 80 American staff who are paid dollars. They are not paying cedis. They are paid in dollars. According to American standard wage bill, and ya Ghana de. Inti some de kwa, come here me they say President Mama red flag in terms say Mr. Finance Minister, ska we mbaw. Inti men fancy budget remove. Let's find ways internally. But who say Ghana? The problem with Ghanaians say it's not that the money is not around though. It is the wastage, you know, and then my problems the back.
Okay.
My kind reports be brief from economists, security analysts about even the oral report. Some are saying, oh, this oral report, you know, and the amount, you know, the maximum they can actually retrieve is maybe like 20-25%. And I'm saying 20-25% is not even chicken change. And that form
out of the 20 billion.
20 billion, 20%, and yet chicken change. That's a lot of money. And you see, the system I'm going to use so the retrieve if it's A or B, because B beside me say the fact that your name is in oral and Rabbi Khan baby. You shouldn't panic. You shouldn't be scared. Say won him say won ye boni and now won for ban now for ban sase. They could say oh a while I thought sase or labonia now while I hear transaction be so much millions so money account. But your friend while or China no ba no producer receipt say oh laboni dan ya won't say the man 40,000 and 40,000 man me toward $100,000 which is equivalent to the normal price. Awa will go home with his land. Unti bin jeli awa. What am I saying?
Yeah.
So it is true, it is a fact finding, it's an investigative issue, but majority of the people will come personally to prove say idea way matro be the matro amount not to but no crenya meaning metoye and no crenya meaning it is mine.
Yeah.
These are my proof. What I say. So even if it's like I'm reading in the report say we'll be able to take 20% now, the 20% is even still significant to the economy of Ghana. Into me, I feel say if we are able to block a lot of wastage and now unnecessary spending now, so $156 billion, no, baby. What am I say? Looking at even the appointments going on, so because even Jubilee House still crowd, yeah, my presidential staffers. What is presidential staffers? How many?
Just few of them.
Just few of them, and I doubt it's going to go times 2 or times 5. And no crowd was a carne that Ghana so presidential staffers sike ko san sikani no we are looking at not spending so much money on all those things nanka enye dey yemfanka ya yisika ye be spend ho na Ghana nko enim inti USA ko but we'll find other means internally to be able to look. Even gold, what they report in Dubai, say gold the fee Ghana yet on not through the normal means or illegal means no. High. And you ask yourself, Ghana will call PMMC now hey na amount of fahono is divided by 100 of what is reported goes through the real system. Into bisa say how does that happen? That is a scandal. Bebre ewo krumu has yetimi blocking managing year will be able to make some money to stop these gaps a be air draining air concrete for private pockets are emboa. No great means me baby na free money be ba mefa. Share issue where cause one national service secretariat here. Yeah. It's a bad case. If it is true, it's alert me boy. If it is true, it's a bad case. Say every month some people are sharing 28 million cedis. That's crazy. 28 million cities every month, yet. Until you can imagine where other ones she share a baby a was kitten. Feel say if we are able to block a lot of wastage, it will come into the center to make things right, to make Ghana go forward. See, Obia be so protecting the crew. Obia, so you are not expecting anybody to come and give you any money, and it's about time Africa, as we are, no, we find ways and means to grow our own. Because if Trump stays there for another 4 years, you can imagine the kind of aid he's going to cut.
Yeah.
Because wars, Sikadi say, oh, Chim. I heard him say Zelensky told me, you know, meanwhile, if it was Biden,
Even NATO.
Biden's going to do billions to him. Meanwhile, the Americans walking on the street, you can't say one force. People are standing at the American embassy wanting to go to America because Ghana and Yemen or Pesoko Bobrao. But to do America, who said Crawford that bridge, I say, to say circle. Who do America, who could Crawford and Crawford nam form with their bare feet because they don't even have money to buy boots to wear. Who American who said there are places where there are no tarred streets. Come the Crawford, America, who do who rent car park or shopping mall, who fees I buy pouch or say I need $1. So it is not as it is. Trump thinks that there are people in America who are suffering and struggling. Why should we take the money out? Sana, what's here so you're doing? If we as Ghanaians can block all these holes, I think that it will come to supplement a lot of things for us to be able to have an economy. Into 100 days a year, I think that people are supposed to do some work. And within the 120 days, we should be able to deliver to Ghanaians to make things okay.
Very well. Medasi Uncle Gigi. Mamembra Awa Muhammad. So Awa Mamembra also in jail.
Yo, Medasi. I think that Metese or inaugurated a task force, you know. And I mean, so well, but Nipanana or say, Mashebobi, a bona Michelle within 120 days. I think that there was a mini tax force via on the police here. So yes, but I don't see any real benefit of the essence. And let me say a bona was sharing, especially the 120 days, Makumaku 26, about 5 and answer 6 pay and a woman and yes, be a ministry be and a in charge. The Akanyina ministry is in charge. For instance, I can't say Omo did them Ombeko University free, no. A Ministry of Education and a Ebeshaso, and within the 3 months. And I can't say Obecha part and Kwalaha Omuko a primary school to secondary school. A becha part amount within the first 120 days, and also a year still within Ministry of Education and but there will be some collaboration with Gender and Health Ministry now or more etimiaye. So I think that Okansa or more boom no just to ensure efficiency say be a baby my friend a prompt. But I know that this is the work of the Chief of Staff. I mean him say a Juma Chief of Staff pa and it's a ministers no ebe report to him progress of work and then keka ho. But it's also Chief of Staff entrance na onye Jumana Dr. Valerie Sawyer, our presidential advisor, and ye na on coordinating or muntimin deliver. The Ghana ni hiane kese pa and say deliverables no. So bit man deliver because or can say obeye normal maku edunsia. And I say a Dionunsia 26 within a year the first year 120 days no. And enune here Ghana for pa committee no. Or feel say very relevant. Okay, so time I buy no. Yeah, the ministers be brave by 123. Yeah, the buy no. You can say move for specific duties. Some ministers were picked for specific duties. That time no for say but at least we saw for instance, we share the Zango minister. Yeah, then buy no with a specific duty to set up the Zango Development Fund. And power buy no set up Zango Development Fund no. And my projects over 200. After 2020 no any who say was setting up the fund newi eti obetimeja and ojai special development initiative the same thing and a cutting from 120 something to 80 something. So it's not really about coordinating the people, putting them together. ekwanya nipa ne betimi afa so afufili de eyina o kan say obeye no and very important. And we wish them well. Now oba US aid e na o kan say watum na say ne minua kan no and de me ne ya adwe pa say am I mind you so we come opposed so definitely so am I nyina ne hwe kwan a obetimi afa so within itself na watimi ejina anything am I can say o man bi anye sovereign essence say so interdependent on a lot of things. For instance pass your malaria draw your HIV any ye draw kitten was say opina e de brain ya or some baby I drew as on mine. I believe that you want that capacity na ebetimi aye. USA the normal the malaria draw brewa onkoto lonato onto ye no Ghana ha ono di ne de eneba. Sometimes the omo ye ne say omo creating market for their produce e Ghana ha or the scar what their brew say or brew sika 156 million or brew nro na so oto nro no free Pfizer ho oto nro no e free no chrome eba so or create access to market to the company no no chrome so indeed ye yusu edro no ha de na so ono no e boa ni chrome ama ni chrome atumpon. It is a scanner or the buyer no or the brain aboya there be is also creating jobs for his people. Enti we no ama I opina ye betimi ahwe ekwanya ye betimi afa so aye okay say COVID-19 buy na ye ton nose mask 100 cedis 50 cedis tama e buy no and a device strategy wa Ghana ha to the extent that ye pamon tomade at a point in time tomade no kra na more efficient than the omoton no because tomade no timi brief wom ni nekeka ho kama ni nekeka. So I believe that this is the time I was say oman no if I share bresha yensa a lot of things ewo ho a eni se yema abrofo kra boa yen ewo de elections over the time elections aye Ghana hanyina no abrofo na boa yen the last elections you can say nyina ebetimi atua yen yesika na ye de aye and we're able to do it it we na aba no eni se ye fa no se finance minister na wo se ope ekwan bi na ofa so se na be ya obetimi akushin na etimi aye on say bia ora e de 20 billion e de aba man no ye bisa no kra no o say 20 billion no enye actual amount esan say agi say you confront nipa na ehu say 20 billion. How do you even run with a figure wa wunim say figure no entimi enye the rational figure because say yabo obi din wo mu a eno nkire say nipa ne difo wo suspicion e kire say nipa ne difo on e bia obi akoto asase ene say Mr. Speaker wo ti hai ya ka cho say aban son asase wo baabi na wo ko na e pass through the process na eye bibia na eton ma 10,000 onyamfo so bia o Supreme Court cry at the time
na an evaluation no
exactly Supreme Court cry ye ho adwuma menim de enti ama okuje to ablakwa tem bia about obi ato aban dan eye problem in 2009 oni o mane boama as deputy ministers omuko court omudi Jacob Chabilam te court through to Supreme Court kolusui auto adan auto adan ni wie no mu kan se wan ton kwan papa so o san ton fofofo e ko through Supreme Court ma court kan se wanya fom so bia aban value ye no value no ene o de kotoy eti wentimi ankoje there is no way say o de no beka ho aka say yetimi agi asase no kra ne eton how do you take asase abrani pa no effort through the process ene okoje I don't know how I was say anytime they be make say ora no obi eni ho a wo chiri say ye befa obi aba obehwehwe ehu say obi dinisa abo Ghana futuom ono yama an opportunity to work for the country na wasan awie sika no e wo say eche no nanso de omu ye kire say ompese omu gu nkrofo ani mu ase keke be essence say wa wo say o mi hwehwem keke na media koma ayi na ye de koma no wie ye kran say attorney general e was said de bia no ɔno nso ɛfa akyire kɔ yɛ nhwehwɛ mu we dey just konkonsa na dey abeto nanim so konkonsa no nko a utimi quantify hu sɛ ebetimi ayɛ half of Ghana debt nyina so we know see about 20 billion your debt around 40 something billion your GDP around 60 billion into 1/3 of HRS into corruption, which is not true. And into corruption. It is something that you have quantified. It be a corruptioner. You need to say review all these monies. For instance, they all come on national service. Some pass obit national service.
Yeah.
Because a sida Ghana national service for under Mahama in 2013-2014. Omo ebu Ghana faso sa ghost names no. District directors Maakye 25 ye yomadi, including the CEO no. Ye yomadi edomo call court. Minim de ekosi, but me kai say ye yomadi a ye de omo call court and ye prosecute omo for minim de ekosi. But minim say ye yomadi under Mahama because now omo critique that goes to no. So there is a leeway I say it's possible so be betimi assign ye de omo ye de you omedi no. It is am pass nipa na ya I say ye na e betimi retrieve scanner na retrieve every nipa no.
Okay. Very well, me that's 11 after 9. A high Kessben 92.9. Doc, but Mohamed Amintiwe.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
May share steps taken by Yera Mampenyi John Dramani Mahama. I can say, sir, the signals that I'm getting so far, so good on theory. Outcome no dear, you're better. It needs time for it to unveil itself
and assess.
Yeah, exactly. Now the mechanism economy I woman and then Ghana economy no a year hopa the speaker. You currently there. Sisi Accra no met my business. Do we even have a middle class?
Oh, of course we do, Anna.
We even have rich people, not to be the
Mr. Speaker, do we even have a middle class? Because okay, say Mampeni Akufo-Addo abayin so no. People that were brought into the poverty line increased by 10-fold under the Bawumia Akufo-Addo era. Economy omo jaye no eka wo hwe the supplementary budget na omo pass here na about 20 billion cedis they ko amortize ye loan, interest on loans, payments of loans, interest on loans. Just 20 billion Ghana cedis alone. Osha your debt to GDP ratio is about 84% according to the IMF. Omoko parliament no moko try and say 70%. Meanwhile IMF moko yi sika fi omo ho no. Mama musika no. They are claiming say mo debt to GDP ratio is 84%. Into the economy there, it will take prudent economic management and debt sustainability management to bring us back to the golden era. What did I make? Mr. Speaker. Into Ghana economy there. I hope say task force are set and then the national economic dialogue will bring all erudites in economics and all sector players so that omubeji advice if you best aspects on how we can manage the economy. Oshe proposal idea to honoma under the Great Transformational Plan, and we are still advocating that going forward, we should have a law enacted that no government of this republic should borrow more than 55% of GDP. Public expenditure should not exceed more than 10% of your GDP. And of course, the budget, there's a 5%. No. I'm talking about debt to GDP ratio. I mean, Kasa, what was the minuano? It still doesn't. And
on my point of information.
And I make say
said there is a law, the financial.
We need to enact a law to ensure that no government can borrow more than 55% of our GDP. We don't have any law like that. If you look at the PFM Act, there is no.
Yes, you spoke about expenditure, and what I make say
public expenditure should not exceed 10% of GDP.
So the law is saying 5%. It shouldn't exceed 5%. There is a law.
And you are talking about budget deficit. Budget deficit no should not exceed 5% of GDP. What did they make? Budget deficit. Financing to budget deficit should not exceed more than 5% of GDP. If you look at the PFM Act, but may make total public expenditure. The total public expenditure should not exceed more than 10% of GDP. And these are all proposals are here from a great transformational plan. Speaker, by US aid,
yes,
SMR. You know, there's a great disparity between the global south and north. And the global financial architecture now, led by the Bretton Woods institutions now, there is a deliberate attempt to always cripple African countries when it comes to global financing. And we have ourselves to blame because we've not had the right leadership as Africans. And I'm taking this holistically as Africa because scholars call something the paradox of plenty, where Africa no a resource rich continent but the home to the world's poorest people. That is a huge paradox. Oshe and Ghana, we've been mining gold for 2 centuries now. But agreement multinational companies to say Anglo Ashanti new multinational sign here. There is no value about the coffers of the government. Intina no ye advocate say and going forward, and the NDC government should look into this because at the end of the day, no, Ebeboa Ghana say going forward, no, all mineral resources are ye mining Ghana hanum no. There should be at least 60% value addition before export.
Okay.
Intino ye were loss ana. It would force these companies, no, what you say, and even create other avenues for enterprises for Ghanaians to now set up companies to add value to the natural resources so that we can be able to create employment, boost our exports, and then have a stronger city, which I say, and boost our foreign reserves. Now, Okoshe gold mining agreements, what's the value to the people across Africa, not only Ghana? There's no value. Indonesia and then these Western countries now, Obia yeah. US aid, we are saying that we're going to lose $156 million from that aspect. Yeah, we don't even need US aid in Ghana. We don't need their aid. Yeah. Titi, I am saying it. Thank you to the US government for their kindness, but we don't need their aid. We don't need their aid. Because say to me tighten the loopholes now. I wear a system where to say katashisheni prayer across Ghana in our public politics now. We will be able to mobilize revenue to solve our issues, but especially in the.
Who is there to ensure retrieval of those money?
So that is why may bo NDC for Abaso say or more establish oral Operation Recover or Loot. And we are going to support, and of course the people of Ghana are going to support. Speaker,
no more there.
Speaker,
Doc.
One will say Ghana for no at this period no, is a revolutionary period.
Okay.
This 4-year period, because there's a lot of expectation and anger in the system. Speaker.
Yes.
I come to amount for pound.
Yes.
I want to Ghana for hospital na koshe bills a one microphone to mintia. Now koshe obi akotam sika adi akoshe nempase. Aban sika. And obi ka say oral egu. I think that oral is a continuous process.
No.
It is a committee of master.
They are done with their work.
They are done with their work. But I do not. What does oral mean? Operation Recover or Loot. So how the operation to recover all loot it's going to happen.
Because we have submitted their report.
We are going.
Oral is no more there.
We are oral.
Our old cousin dog have more.
Oh, what was that?
I mean, the level of interjection now.
What was that?
Please.
What was that? He doesn't want to respect himself, and no, he doesn't want to respect himself. Debbie, but Milia, speaker.
That is why I'm the one moderating.
Speaker.
Until all my drawn attention. So there is no need going
MPP party is declining. So you would have people like that come and
you don't even have a political party
and speak for the MPP.
You're just a floating person. You're an NDC person.
Who is an NDC person? I'm an NDC.
Which party are you?
I belong to the movement for change. It's not a party. It's a movement.
So you don't even have a
movement.
Mainly your party.
My
party is MPP.
Your party is declining.
You don't have a party.
Is declining. Your party is. Oh, say. No. You realize that the level of communicators now in the MPP,
when you were in MPP, you didn't even have an opportunity to communicate because
I didn't have an opportunity.
You were substandard.
Go and ask Akufo-Addo.
So, the level of people in MPP.
No, but this kind of behavior should not be tolerated.
This is not fair. Gentlemen, your microphones are off. May you more free. So, thank you. Awa, may I say, Mamena, a not scientific research clinic for assay, and pay one more abwaye year pa. Nax for other romantic pacho, and they would see me, and your papi nano, and a nax for Edia Bajamai. So now, and they. A ban of ultra modern scans, laboratory scans, I hold as some yenina, almost the needed equipment. Pacho said, Uba or Masoya, one more very show with the at the amount. I feel what percent we ye ultra scan, so I ninano, almost the needed equipment, and they one more bit to me at the extra na a fear show nipedian munina at the amount. Now, and it just say electrocardiogram, ECG equipment. Yede etwa akomano ehwe se problem bi wa akomano ho a na yetimi ahwe na yesiesie ni nyina no anopei akwanya no ewo ho se oba nax scientific research clinic a womo ebeboa etimi edisa adwuma nyina no ede amao eno achi no ukase baabi ho atochima wanya fracture ana se wahwease ama ukase mu abu a anopei nax se memo amane se womo ebehwe ama ukase no asanso esisu biem entibra na woni womo emedin komo open dietitian a obeye weduane obema o schedule a ebetimi aboa amwatimi lose weight kama na wedidi healthier ni nyina no nax scientific for ewanim de for mapa a womo ene omo eye adwuma bacho omo branches no enkran ha eye mie no obekọ eye Spinters Road no so Rainbow IT Electronics building no echi hwa obehu womo ana fe taifa womo eben eye Fairview Guest House Udru Kumasi a womo ewo Ahema Kokoben na woni womo edin sa so from numbers no on 0244 120 269 0244 120 269 na woni Nax Scientific for any enkomo anopay na Eclipse Collateral Management there womo ye number 1 eba no prime brokerage a womo demonstration collateral brokerage and a credit brokerage ni nyina no womo eye ho adwuma na ade a ede ewo Eclipse for ho ene se womo de wajapade nkrata no ede ye adwuma se ye landed property ana se de ekuta obi an womo de be ye adwuma na womo tua commission ewo ho anopay womo dwumadi etitu a womo ye ni eno achi no pacho open credit open loan na de free bank oni collateral a oba womo be assist with collateral na etimi aboa ama usika no wonsa etimi aka anopay woni Eclipse for any enkomo esanse womo adwuma womo ye no edanso pa adenta barrier womo be Med Moses Hospital no ewo West African Senior High School one in Chain anopay for womo on 0543 832466 0543 832466 na one Eclipse Collateral Management for any enkomo anopay. Gentlemen, madam was say awa mpacho with all due respect. Doc kasa manenkasa na wonfana nunsi. Doc, I'm just giving you 1 to 2 minutes na for one no see mame na.
Speaker,
me ma 10 minutes.
Speaker, respectfully. Speaker.
It's me ma 2 minutes na cinema bad.
Respectfully. My bet na ha no power. And you allow a person from a declining party
So
to make
you see the West is using.
Doc.
No, you sit here for him to say that Nana People's Party. You have never corrected him. What can Nana People's Party? He repeated it twice.
You Awal.
Oh yes,
You
I
can-
know.
you-
I have-
if
I
you
have
can-
known him.
MPP
You
ayefu
can't take
intina
blows, don't throw blows.
obi to say Awal ebetena sema
You were not considered
proceed. Now every boy ziga. Bravo mami na minti. Me yo mo me ni nyina fu. Debbie where we doc. No. Makacho said Debbie will not allow that. Now every boy mami nti o kakra.
Yes, yes, Ramo. Kwame Amama.
Nana minti o.
Oh.
Awa.
Join one of the parties and see
Awa mpacho. Thank you.
I am a Ghanaian first and
Thank
foremost.
you.
I don't need to be part of
Now every boy mami nti o.
Kwame, imenya message BCC from Hajia Larry Service.
Okay.
Na Emra na do ka kire so obehwe yen. Ko no ohwehwe ya na ohun yen.
Okay.
And me ka kire ne se waseda Kessben Plus. And o say o wa baba minto mbo aseme ka bem fa chame. O say why is it that my two brothers are fighting? Larry Service. And try Hajia na dia mame. Eti Hajia hu chene hye mienu no. And then me say me sure say sa na opeso kire.
Exactly.
A chene hye no so why my two brothers are fighting. Na Hajia Larry Service. Otonda Lamborghini. and Sobolo. The whole Africa and the whole Ghana. Accra had Udru. Tabola number 2. Udru Tabola number 2. Tabola number 2. Baby a fakano. A fakako. Kaneshine. I want to Hajia Larry Service. Come to Hajia Larry Service. The whole unsizable Hajia Larry Service. Baby obi am chacha no come.
Yes,
na come ya na kai. O se vet no say hit bemua. Na obi aha sanity. So ye ton super de agusu say
yes.
Adobre Kwame.
Nana.
We make kan ketua bi. Sa USAID issue ya be.
Yeah.
Me copy straight from
Anketiti.
She Kwame. $150 million, right? $150 million.
Yes.
Kwame, we need it.
Yeah.
Ubi obeka chosi here bianye no credit. We need it. We need it because omanya oya budgeter. About 34% are from international donors.
Exactly.
You need it. You get me? You will need this money because your budget 12 billion Ghana cedis quarterly. You do your salaries. Quarterly. It means that annually $48 billion goes to compensation and salaries. We need this money. We can only call the bluff of this money, whereby Yaka say that 13.5 billion Ghana cedis Ghana lose you through corruption in every year. You see has tell that once and for all. It be maybe. Yes, for 3 years continuously. I'm here to say, ya kept that situation. Converts $3 billion according to Shrach, and represent 20% of our budget. And you know, Kwame, Omanya, yenni a technical know-how. You bet me, I care with that situation. Kwame, you will still need this money for now. An import-driven economy, you don't call the bluff of this money. $150 million. Let me see interchange. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's me building at least about 3 hospitals. And small money and you see,
but you say what's your own for baby?
Yes. The problem is that it should compel us to do something. Just say Ghana be beyond aid. We haven't ripe enough to read that. And me and me are honey and say Timamufon kofo ye pen say and kebedro. But Timamufon wire me no. So we need a radical structural change to reach that level. And is this president are you capable of? Is he ready to crack the whip? Jamaican what I say? Corruption, politics in the dignity, and the dignity ma a political financier bia. Woko kra no ma bebre free abrochire ba Kwame. You bet me ayebu of this country. Is he ready to stop all these things, Kwame? If you are ready there, then we should call the bluff of this man.
Okay.
Jamaican what I say?
Yeah.
Amanya Kwame utimwa. Enterprises is collapsing. 50% of them are running a loss. 5.3 billion. Debiano I may make a phone swear to me communication service tax. Yes, you could share you the employment for car. Diabecano and non yes, I cost service. How? I bring on say coffee candy free back. Jamaica watch as a sub producer. When you mention palace. It is only my palace that yes, you need to card yacheso. I said there be a sika free. Abanti come and palace free sika ma abanti. Amamra no no. But in the kwase on my japadi say generate sika dem brain. On my japadi ye biado yan yes service debt. Are you ready to cap this situation? Public institutions are totally collapsed. Kenya. Valentine Ibadan and I'm a research be. They realized that 2021 Kenya fetched $1.2 billion through flowers. Almost one more export for Valentine's Day. Flowers, Kenya.
Parks and Garden nego.
20 Parks and Gardens ego. But obi sorry no pa a gari botai ekotra Parks and Gardens. Miwa Kipiski Hotel at Mia Cote d'Ivoire I import flowers worth of $200,000 and you have says Kimpiski Cote d'Ivoire. But Parks and Gardens Yetrobika Parks and Gardens has the offshoot all over the country. Ebia the additional says regions in the minimum say bi o ha but the minimum there 10 year baby you try go for ka you put ya tugu center left and right abra ye ni ma de kwenti aye butugu. Where is the shades? Baby, I met you Kumasi Asqua. Me ko Kumasi achepe ya. Me ko ya. Asqua emiani ni na omu butugu. Magetiti. Stadium nachi.
Almost a sit down.
Yes.
Apartment. See Kumasi apartment.
Apartment. Stadium nachi noa. Yes, I di ebia mi egu oni na no. You putting out the containers sisi wo. What kind of country is this? Kwame.
Yes.
Are we ready? Is President Mahama? You see, are you real? Need Panisa Kakwame be do that level. But you be man the coin. Amanaye. President Mills buy 12-18 months. No be no year do president and no salary. Busani le tebanda boy. Many Ludwig. Kloje and a nam in the Rasbu Barak. He confirmed to us, I don't have money. We are working. And you know what? President Mills gave them that money. Can I say started say man? You try back bill. Obia for sacrifice. Are we ready to do this? You already see about me as Adam.
Okay, to generate money.
Yes. Share I am Shishabiaba, Bank of Ghana governor. Sika waje. Yes, a contract. SIC Mami Sika waje. To GNPC. Yes. And your money akoto mu books.
You better tell so.
Obi aka say refina no akono cost ono akọ ni nayi. Enya me na kokoye ba. But doesn't make sense to me.
So moja ketua your man pen.
Yes, it doesn't make sense to me. And to free say
the most difficult job in the country. No?
Yes, the most. Yes, Kwame. The most difficult job in the country. The president's job.
Yeah.
Even appointment to look at the heat that came to your father said the Jubilee House last Thursday on the General Mosquito. Look at the pressure and on my penny SIC what you pay on my penny. Can't we sit down, say?
Engu ye na.
Okay,
SIC.
I will draw. I will draw that.
No.
Go find Chame.
I will draw that. Answer one because enterprise insurance, SIC contracts. Those days are car insurance in the enterprise insurance owned by Oforiatan. Wajiji business nina.
And that's for money.
So Kwame, Sam Kofi sika ye omujiji. Allowances ye omujiji. Akesi I was reading Bakubu ha. Me yam shime afenam bisa me say hey. Bakubi ono de do month bia no na tade juice e be go fridge ni bibia. It's a 90,000 Ghana cedis. 90,000. It is even more than the president's salary. And no nya salary o, any basic salary no. The basic salary is 70,000 something. But the fridge no me di gum credit to base fuel. And it's nobody na month bia is 90,000. Are we sabi prebiasa? Are we sabi are we sick nation? Can't we say the Bank of Ghana ya advertising near catch us say salary basic salary is a 20,000. Do you think we can get competent individuals from a school to be acquired? Of course. Kwame, yes, the person should be able to make it. You understand? Let's go to Kumasi to go to Bakola. Your mammy do how call market. Oko no kutaka pro. Oko yeso ankititi. O ton body. O ankititi we dem sra. O mama bie drobe me sebi na me koton. Me ton me discan me bro. No akwa emaye. Na san watin fa so. Emaye. Kumasi magazine. Dey no die. Afebo so no anya sika no ono akofa ne de. Afo to kakra fo bo se. Yesi e man no kofa free. Ka mu na eba o. Afenu akofa wanka. Afenu wayenye se tam. Finance minister bi anchen.
Me da say
Angela Merkel. Na you ni convoy. Aya 3. Ya ko disika no ono ho.
Me da say very well. Mami ntwa me ho na me ne go se de ni nkomomra. Me ba you be wrapping it up with a year Council of State election and dra a course no na ma having the bite of a year me panel no. Stay with me na me ni obatampa eni nkomomra. Mami ma of a woselachi na me mana kwaba. Over my champada Roma, what between us here, Eddie Ama, over my chain.
Yeah, I'm dear.
Now, a bumbo called
I do not say.
A radiado, Menso Mahoya pa.
And I pay me church at Yefua, Omo Pabre, Efe, na Omuchi, FDA. So the in and Majma may answer some positive idea.
Okay.
The Americans and Yankopon, Abdom Yam Hodra, a 3 arena secra. Positive idea. And said who drew a yanasa, who drew a papa. Abraham Mimia Bia, now may pimpino. In fact, Senka, I am a dum, I'm a man, I am a drear. Kibiana Miss Midi Pim, a baby, I mean, I share, because when you are Maakye de Biano, who to say, a bibre, Obuka to me, Bisase, I do not yet whom me idea. Because why we China still are in I share. No Tinama, the Bramika say, what him can. Oh, positive idea one. When you're 90% healed, what him can say, make us say, when you're 100% healed. 10% is will be trying to more about Maakye, I will pay my chaquine. Oba, Umbato. My telephone number, medical telephone number is actually the be Adam Rafi. My number is 0553 800 678 0553 800 678 no Kaswa Fifi Pratt last stop oh Yano Council na Kumasi so me san wo agent Kumasi no mano yasesan kakra ene 0207 70 92 0207 70 92 when you come in question na fresh I know my way o me do ni bi ato ena takrade ene in question so no man ni 0246 04 34 58 0246
0246
04 34 58 obi a won work takwade ni nkwa asusu ompɛ sa omfɛ normal way mu yɛ do ni bi ato na potet yade a yade bi a ɛyɛ mama nko a mama edi bɛ sɛ mfie duasan ɛkɔ no an sɛ mfa at most 40 years ɛkɔ na sare yade ni ɛyɛ omo ɛyɛ wo a ɛmama adwunso pii anadwo titiri ɛyɛ ahyɛsɛ obɛdwu sɛ bi a adwua na wodwunso ananso dudo na wonom da bi mama adwunso pii anadwo ugusu dwunso saa bɛdu da bi na fe na Johnson kan na ma ho ya ha na Johnson go ho enu achi be he na se Johnson kan na ojan ko jan so Johnson a kwansine ntun Johnson be chim ansa na otun Johnson ana so se Johnson e ba no e ba na hode e wo Johnson na chi no e kitu abi pressure no e wo fom enu se won ya post ni bi e be tua ba so be Johnson go ho a wonim se Johnson de o Johnson go ho ana so say obeju so boja ana betua ba say usisi be oya o mama sam be kofom ni nyina positive symptoms ni bi na ni nan kan fo no odidim sa one day be sorry no na ojun so am biem na fe na e fe no retention e say hospital ma yeden e de rubber show obambam na no sa ya de we ya enumguase ya de ni owo sa ya gan so say making say edi e show positive no esa no say positive na ke senti na ma sense so making na eba no inte ko ba sa no a ade chi bia na eye kase ko nanim ko bi de wo ba show na say ojun so fa sa ro ba ni mu a sra no cheche eye kase ti finally be na akoye ekuro because yade ihunum akwa bia no se ehunu a ekuro na eye na abofofo cancer na ba ebedi dia akọ ohunam akwa bim o testicles mu o liver o kidney na ebekom na fe na edu ko nsedo na sa yade we ni akopon aidom na mu hoduru a etu ase ema sa tibia na obowo mu no eden efi okra fi se yade endu a wosisi ni nyina no emanage dwunso no woko na se bia akọ wo a ebekan na obedwunso we de yade mejunso pia na junti min hospital no kwa doctor be mu attesto ebeka just wo yen large prostate ampa na Edward of tamsulosin hydrochloride anaso se fenesteride so eno ma ojunso na kofom ama woju adwuma so sisi ide yare no ko na nkoi sai edonu manage ojunso no keke relax muscles na wo prostate ni junso twa no I find bofu bo nfa no you know blood no relax muscles so that be ya obutu na junso fine na mum prostate na ahunu a akofa ana akoye kase na akofa yare na ba no de enya ho hwe nti wonu na do ni na na chechire na kase na se nti won ya efa se do no betu di hodan se wanu ma do no still ojari kakra pena junso na san ba because prostate no kase na se eye anu medu enu ya medu a ehwinke prostate na kase no ebedwedwu no amana sini dadam obi no wanu medu aba mama test no na wakọ asa mama test na prostate ne size te same da ebekọ form completely ebekọ form a na afele nsunsu anso na eden ekọ form akosi no normal na no anu we had na eden asetu sai bi na ye me a me hospital ye hweye doctor sometimes technician no testing me say be man na mai ne te say so daddy o positive ndi efin bi enu ho efiri ho ana man na du na wi am ko yes test net efiri ho me nya problem bi abiem saa so won ya ba makache me hwe mo kwa adasidie eno mudie echenkofo echi akwan na one good news for say saa me ne ya ba me ba we squad ba ikrando do na omoye enkofo ye fe omuma me won ya ba me nchen enya ya sa na afi no omode noma ema nkofo me do mo ase me do bibia wa ba makachi a won hu se edum eboa na aboa no na osanso di noma na ama nipofo no onkoso enya sa me do mo ase pa because ya de ne yare bia enheduro eni wo sa de bia me ka se so obi a obi ɛkyerɛ ɔmo akyiri akwan wɔ postrate no bi kyerɛ ɔmo akyiri akwan a akyɛde kɛseɛ paa ne bakunda bɛma wɔn saa akyɛdeɛ no because nkɔfo wobɛkɔ baabi bebree wunya yɛ asa yɛyɛ meka to me ho meka sɛ de bia meka sɛ obi sɛ wɔ postrate ɛbɛ kyɛ me ɔboa because when you abama nkyɛn bo 1000 obiara ba obiara tumi ka sɛ ɛyɛ me bɛyɛ sɛ mfie no mu no kyinkyia nti msusu abira ko menya yɛ ahwɛ bɛhɛna ne ho ato no nti sɛ obi sɛ ɔwɔdo sɛ president do kyɛn me a me sɛ ɔboa Ghana ha yɛyi nipa bɛ sɛ mmiɛnsa ne sɛ mmiɛnsa na manka ho a mandi first anto so mmienu a ne sɛ anyɛ correct nti me sɛ obiara sɛ obi a ɔwɔ saa tibɛ no mu anidasoɔ ɛnya nsan no hos ma obiara de bia meka sɛ ɛdwo wei kɔba sɛ ngɔfo obi nka ɛkɔyɛ ho nsɛm bi ama ɛdwo no kɔka sɛ ɛdwo no yɛ adwuma ma manfo yɛ sɛ bi a ɔmpoma kyɛ akwan a ɛbɛyɛ me ya yɛ ɔbɛyɛ me sɛ yɛ sɛ bi a me mfaso a meyɛ wɔkyi a bɛyɛ me ɛbɛyɛ me ya na mmom nipa dodoɔ no anka ɛnam ne so bɛma mu menya ayasa no a ebi sɛ ɔmo kwan na yɛ me ya nti wotumi nka sɛ wɔ postrate a mɛmma obi ndaadaa mɛnyɛ nitifoɔ yɛnsani pɛmakyi akwan woba ho bɛtɔ mebɔ mpa yɛ sɛ menya FDA approval mebɔ mpa yɛ sɛ aban bɛpɛmakyi akwan nanka aduro yɛde akɔ hospitals nanka minister of health ɛyi so bɛduro no ne bia meka sɛ ɛyiduro no minister of health na ɔmo yi so a nkɔbie ne ɛbɛhyɛ no rɔba because nipa no ba na sɛ ɛma no aduro no a ɛbɛhyenke postrate ma ne ho atɔ no nti ɛbɛde na ɛkɔdu baabi ɛbɛhyɛ no rɔba yɛhyɛ rɔba a ɔmɛmasɛm ato ape because untu nko yire ho wo be so be mu asabi sɛ yire so be sida ko yire ho entinu sɛ utumi nka na sɛ wa sɛ roba bra wo ba mamu adua mo ho atɔ em sɛ nabi obi be di adase wo ha ɛwɔ ya na konja mitisu ya na obetran so di adase mi sɛ last year be di adase me na man no do man roba ɛhyɛ no po emfa hyɛ no mamu ɛhyɛ na ya ase eyi free wa ndɛ ɔno to edu no wɛsɛ wo jema me agent na man no man ɔno nti sɛ wowɔ saa tibɛ no mu a meka with conviction sɛ mewɔna duro mo prostitute duro ɛto aseɛ completely ɔma ho atɔ wɔ me nɔmɔ no sa mensa mfa me nɔmɔ no nto adwa biem me nɔmɔ no 0553 800 678 0553 800 678 Kumasi 020 70 92 0207 70 92 Western region 0246 04 34 58 obi a otimi kebia no actually say no way on taking note of it because possibly we say there kanwa ebugu enu mata say kunwa kanwa de bia mka say unya start project start o pre it say the wudini a odi otu achew so
Odom says Rekusian.
I made that say my man of I was and say, but my member TT so I go TT me of 5 minutes. Mamichi on the election of the Council of State members. Na
you enra yet to Obama Council of State members, and for once in our history, we saw a youthful exuberance of ages are yehuda, which was the 30 between 30 and 40 years or more contested for Council of State. And Robbie beside me question said, somebody at the age of 32, somebody at the age of 36, how can he advise the president that with the 60 plus? And I'm sorry, I'm catching and say, Nyansa dear, and any papa could stream. And at times when you behave like you know it all, then you don't know nothing. It's good to listen to everybody at times, and then that's sorry. Ubinya a different perspective of akwalada of say one kanyan sakra and child. So it is good now the youth even will share a statement of polls this one. The faces what we say there were a lot of young people on the statement of poll. Naturally say people are now getting interest in that kind of election. First, you jam a statesman or more already 60 plus elderly men in the party. But enrani who say youth in abem, and I believe that they want to go and fight for the youth of this nation. And yes, BB and a council of state Mbakot now amaye stenkokrafo business biya mokwa koda. And I'm sure that the youth neighbor, it will make that particular area of Ghana's constitution a bit vibrant, because and yes, yet meetings. What am I say? They will now bring in a lot of things to actually ginger the Council of State.
Okay.
So it was okay. So share regions across that. There was only one region now. Yes, in Tokwa, which is Ashanti region. And I feel very bad, say, after we had a very successful 2024 election with negligible, your friend is saying, in Tokwa at polling stations, we are microphone cry less. We had this challenge. I don't know why it should be so, but Mifu said it was a negative to our democracy or to the election of Council of State. We need to resolve why in Tokwasi, because I don't know if the stories at that meeting here correct. Ballot box snatching BB. Was that
ballot
so?
Papers? I almost say
ballot papers. I think it is wrong, but I say in this time because after 2024 elections, me feel say Ghanaians have come to a stage that we can go to election without any problem, because Saoshana Nado, a few days before election, Oka said this election is going to be peaceful, and make sure say security service and everybody was on track, because the head the but make sure the election goes very well. And so elections went very, very well. Generally, Bonibia, unlike 2020 and 2016. What you say? If you say thereafter, going forward, this shouldn't be something we should see it in our elections. Because in Kessben, until you show Abium, I felt bad. And you say macho men. I thought macho men and all these people.
I turn of the past.
A few elections, so going forward, me feel say we should put things in place. Maybe the security features we put in place in the general elections were not put in place because they thought it's something very little. Into any escalate, and unfortunately, escalate. It's going forward. The initial move for 2024, we should implore that kind of security going forward. Say every election, don't underestimate it. Even the airbay, MMDC is the airbay. War assemblies no. They shouldn't take it for granted, because it will be the same. Nabibia and Kodin.
All right, Meda say Uncle Titi. Dr. Ramsey, Mami Tio for 5.
Speaker. Okay, sir. Nano be mitnaha. Ekacha say the Council of State should be scrapped through constitutional amendment.
You
mentioned that.
And when you are one, but I have to refer him because you were there.
That's what you own here.
So I mean you are there, but I have to tame him. I have to tame him down. Otana catch me say, onu the political scientist. Na media me scientist. Intino asema make Canada and to assume here, because Council of State is apolitical. But of course, this incident has vindicated my earlier submission. Say the level of interest our Council of State elections are no me won't be that, because it is all forward by partisanship. Sure, Speaker, share constitution more. Sine Council of State nominees for election, especially regional ones now. Every district be a district assembly nominating Crawford. And yes, sir. Yeah. And we all know that our district assembly elections, even assembly members, they are all aligned to political parties in Ghana. And I'm a one.
Yes, absolutely.
And we have to scrap the Council of State and bring in a bicameral parliamentary system. Second chamber. Second chamber, no. Ye political actors be a womb or state actors be a womb. Ya him for no, ye so for ulama for no, youth-based organization for no, trade union, media, academia. Omuni na these independent bodies no would form the second chamber, and then they will be able to advise the president and then nominate and appoint heads of independent constitutional bodies like the CDS, the IGP, the Chief Justice. Now, what to me who said that would be a buffer to solve most of the problems in Ghana, because Ghana is highly polarized with partisan politics. That is why Yemubino, for the love of the country, our first major political attempt was to move with a movement, an apolitical movement for a national unity. For the love of country, because say the partisan politics echo Chrome Hanuma, we could have joined and aligned ourselves with, of course, a certain political party. We are coming from a political party, but looking at senior Ghana has been highly polarized. Maybe politics. One share crano, Chinano Ukoton to scribe, baby saws a MPP and as NDC, and based on that crano, Sika or the baton to crano, a bedifa. Speaker, Intino, semi see, Ewo Kumasano. I think sir, it was not right. Na me dream said President Mahama has promised the people of Ghana that he is going to reform the constitution and amend it. And these are some of the proposals idea to Ama and this for, and they have a copy of the Great Transformational Plan, so that we can be able to solve these issues once and for all. Asem bako me person me de to no o ma me minutes no me 2 minutes no.
1 minute.
About oral. Okujato made a statement say oral no if they're able to retrieve most of the money, Ghana would get about $20.49 billion. It is a fact. And I am referring you to the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, OCCRP. If you look at their website, they have indicated that Ghana loses $3 billion to corruption each year. And you know, if you multiply the 8 years of President Akufo-Addo and Bawumia, 24 billion. And yes, sir, 8 times 3, 24. Into, of course, it is in line. Into the me bumper and say oral would really reach its climax, and we would have all these monies that have been looted from the innocent people of Ghana back to the coffers, so that we will not sit here and cry of $156 million from US aid. The bano.
Me congratulate you on my winning. Aka 2 regions, Ashanti region and Northeast, and on Epaye. So
Northeast Epaye,
and no Epaye. So almost saying airport because I 6 and it will be anya 6. Jinapania 12. So and no Paye. So Emranti no omo abamono. One thing ama encrophobia breyam shishi omo say abranti bi eninamu. And say be a brand there must be someone who beat me up for about a brand here, and then a kicker hunter very important. Nanso, this is one of the highest offices. Yet the office in a buyer said Yenyana and Penimfoa or Monim dear pa some retiree statesmen na omontinas and na omon and 2 president to four. And Nuntinama Osha Constitution now. Former Chief Justice, former IGP, former CDS, any House of Chiefs President, on Okahu 4, automatic. I was a moba. Then you have 16 people elected from the regions. Say, you are not president. I shared the Tosini. No, I appointed 11. No, say be education is to name 11. No, appointed 11. No, I say be education is to whom. Assume see whom. Assume see him na or the account na aye. Now, what will happen? Say at 36, the person is a former council of state member. Such a person will be to make way juma or him. You understand? And some people are not happy when you have young people over there. As I say, Nipano na brabono afena adunum pompon so.
Yeah.
And our to president to full. It will be to make juma Kessben ha. As just a staff, you understand? Now again, osan koye bibi outside and say we now what the president full and koye bibi san. And until na man na yepe and penimfo no any omo call retirement no. Unya omo etime boa. Again, the premise of the constitution say yenye no non-partisan yenfa party enwurem. But say no the year when say this is the first time I'm sitting executives of a political party contesting. Oko Power State or by no regional vice chairman. And see that so we say will be a certain elected officer of the party now or contested. Obi to say Lion, Greater Accra, or your former regional minister, or your hene, our showbia. So an kanye problem bia. Again, Osha de see Okmasena. I think that the NDC also mutu omo for say if you're going into any delegate selection in Ashanti region, oko dialogue a boa chen wudi gidi. Because you see, the Hisham and then Imran and yeah and ran. Yesan koto about 10 times are obin pebe lusu. Because assembly members in baby omujina. She okay say kojobo nsube ye KMA boss. For 2 years now, only presiding member. Because MPP presenting Nana Kofi Senya. NDC a presenting Nana Dumuhene. Omukoya a paya to the extent that later Ninu Abako Opomai. Ebe yeah, your friends presiding member. Opomai, even the time Opomai ebe presiding member. No a communication director for Inshaesu constituency. For MPP. So the Omuye Enrano. Omo ye bibia ahyehyɛ gu ho a omo bekan na wo say obimpe lusua. There is no way obimpe could have even come second. Assembly members omo kumase a omo ye NDC for a enra ye select omo buy omo beto na omo ye 17. That was the vote obimpe benya. So I'm surprised that omo koye bibisa. The only thing they say police for the omo can a brown crofo buo crofo macho men buo mo hono me who statement na me buo fukra because me who statement is yes we were on the manhunt. I will say police ni macho ni peja police ni tunoko again. The tester regional minister, young regional minister, no, he has failed the test. First test as regional security boss we fear baby out here. We are regional security couple. Baby out here. Now utibi biye wanu kraka se ompeni ma nanan kansa buodo anase anti rose embeye your friend say council of state chair ube forso ana ye obimpe ni krom ho your friend ejuso assembly members on buy no mutoma no even ni krom ejuso mutoma no etimsra omo se mo pesumdwe na pesam ya just jojo me some of us are not really happy so obi MPP ni we known obi anim say waba say obe contesting or go to President Mahamafu. You see it doesn't really gel, but adia no say ye biem obi a opebia no ombe contesti bi into obe contesti bia dialogue a part of democratic process. But who did the bar ye two abani 10 times I obi mpe ultimi wini either anti-Rose and I say your friends say Nanan Kansa Boadu and a winning elections.
Very well. As we 2 after 10, Mabinfa won't see her. Me tell my son, me sorry I call. Now Sejo and a team no at the Medford action no at the 12. Mamina Wa Muhammad as a member of the New Patriotic Party. Dr. Ramsey is a member Movement for Change and I feel Uncle Titi, a member of the NDC. I have reports here, guys, my colleague. And my name is Kwame Appiah. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of my team, thank you very much for your time. Good morning. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yesu ne yirasio obia woni duma odidi bo a o man wo na ni ko si na fo wa yuku ni chechire ne ma bia na ni ko so ni ja obretu ni ku podu fo eja wo mo anku ni maba aguna na yiri kwa ba akasa no makasa french wo bie na no a wo bo ajo asana na ho fe bia woni bono so a wo yira cheche wo kwa ni ba ni na sene ni ba ejo no bi no anta bia eja wo mo anami di asem asa chirina no pano wasa meja wo mu asno diaba wodman kuma oba de hye yense yenin za woso eni je ni agrewo afe woni e bi wi ase asoni mu e ba sa wa yira kwan so a chire ne pampa no bi asem ye obi asmo oni nani a won man nwem wo wi ase ha asam to nyonko na to baby anka mfa ho me nso metene baby anka me pema